A very good evening to all our chartered accountants friends. Welcome to our webinar. Coming here, thank you so much for coming here and helping us out for such initiative. I know you all, our chartered accountants, must be busy. Just a news has come that our tax audit date has extended for another month. I think there is a big round of relief for all our chartered accountants here. And thank you so much for taking us time for this initiative. I'm Priyambada, CA Priyambada Chabra from the Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance. This has been a new committee constituted in this year itself under the leadership of CA Charanjot Nanda sir, who's the president of ICAI, as well as CA Prasanna D sir, who's the vice president of ICAI. The committee is being led by CA Jayachira sir, as well as CA Sridhar Mupalla sir, the chairman as well as vice chairman of the committee. So we have been taking initiative for the well-being of our chartered accountants, trying to focus on themselves as well, apart from the work. I know these days are very heavy considering the tax audit and every deadline is coming on the way. But yes, we have to focus on ourselves also, so due to which we are already conducting daily virtual yoga session as well as 3 days a week virtual Zumba sessions as well, where all the chartered accountants are encouraged to come and work on their health. Plus, we have been instituting very different initiatives like meditation sessions, weekly webinar, we're inspiring the different various sectors, where we are exploring the various sectors that we can evolve through chartered accountants. Not only the traditional work has been formulated, but yes, coming towards the different initiatives. Today, we have our speaker, Mr. Kushal Loda. He's a chartered accountant, a very young chartered accountant, and explored himself in the world of podcast. Welcome, Kushal. As well as we have our moderator, CA Supriya Samath, helping us out to conduct the session. I thank both of you to be here and helping us out with organizing such sessions. And I would request everyone to let us know what kind of sessions you want and what initiative you want us to have, so that we can proceed for more and more initiatives. So, taking not much time, I would request CA Supriya Samath to continue with the session.
Thank you, Priyambada ma'am. Good evening, everybody, and happy Navratri. It's my privilege to be the moderator for this session, and I would really like to thank Chairman Sir CA Jay Chaira Sir, CA Sridhar Mupala Sir, our Vice Chairman, and Priyambada ma'am. And today, as you'll all know, our speaker is Kushal Loda, and I'm sure you'll all know about him, but I would like to give you a brief introduction about him. Right. So, Kushal is a rank holder chartered accountant at all levels, world rank holder in ACCA, and a CFA chartered holder. He is the host of the widely acclaimed podcast Conversation with Kushal, which I personally watch and follow. And it is followed by over 1.2 million people across social media. He is the best selling author of Acing CA and Unlocking Unicorn Secrets, and has been recognized among Forbes India's top 100 digital creators 2024, a LinkedIn top voice and most influential content marketing professional by the World Marketing Congress. With 100 plus university talks, 10 plus corporate sessions, and features on ET Now, NDTV, and Economic Time, Kushal brings a powerful blend of academic brilliance and modern storytelling. So we are very delighted to have him with us today. Kushal, we would like you to begin with the session.
Sure. Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. I'm not sure if I deserve all of that, but thank you so much for such kind words. And I'm glad that you've followed the podcast as well. So it means a lot to me. Very good evening to everyone who's watching this. Maybe what like we can just do a quick round of intro of mine. I'll just share a few anecdotes from my journey for the next 5-10 minutes, and then we can like have a proper question and answer session after this. Of course, like would be happy to take questions from the audience as well towards the last basis the time availability. So, like I was very, very intrigued by this entire committee, by the way. So, when I got an email that there's a committee on promoting work life balance, I was so happy to read this email that there is a new committee which is being formed on this topic. And when I got a call as well, I was very, very intrigued and very surprised that there is a proper committee on work life balance, because this is a topic which is ignored a lot, and this is a topic which is not spoken a lot about. And then I just thought that I'll also like I'll just speak on the digital journey that I've been doing. So just to give you a quick background about me, so I left a very high paying job in 2022. So I did CA, I did CFA, I did ACCA. Luckily got all India ranks in all the levels of CA exams. Luckily got world rank in ACCA exam as well. Had done well academically, and then pursued a job in Aditya Birla Group for 2 years. June 2022 is the month and year when I decided I want to quit my job and pursue content creation full time. I'll just walk you through what was going in my mind when I took that decision, and whether that decision has been played in my favor or against as far as my present status is concerned. So I was thinking that content is something that was always my passion. I started my YouTube journey back in May 2020, when students used to ask, भैया पढ़ाई कैसे करनी है, भैया डिस्ट्रैक्शन बहुत हो रहा है, पढ़ाई पे ध्यान कैसे करे, भैया लाइक बहुत बार हम लोग रिलेशनशिप्स में पड़ जाते हैं, इसको डिस्ट्रैक्शन को दूर कैसे करें और पढ़ाई पे ध्यान कैसे करें. आई यूज्ड टू गेट लाइक ऑल द काइंड्स ऑफ डाउट्स. And that's when I decided that instead of replying to everyone on LinkedIn, which is not doable for a human, let me create a YouTube video and start my own YouTube channel. So 20 मई 2020 को मैंने मेरा फर्स्ट यूट्यूब वीडियो रिलीज किया, विदाउट एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट आई विल बिकम अ फुल टाइम यूट्यूब क्रिएटर आफ्टर अ पॉइंट इन टाइम. And that's how the YouTube journey started. I thought that LinkedIn is something which I should start as well. So I was one of the first creators who started creating content on LinkedIn and started writing and sharing my thoughts on LinkedIn. In fact, if I can share with all of you, in my office at one point in time, everyone used to say that अरे ये तो सिर्फ LinkedIn पे लिखता है, ये तो ऑफिस में कुछ काम ही नहीं करता है. Despite the fact that I used to just write once in a week, and that too I used to write about my experiences about the corporate journey and corporate culture. That I started my LinkedIn journey. Then October 2022 is when I thought I'll also start my Instagram journey, because short form content was picking up and people's attention span, they were getting reduced, which we'll discuss over the course of the next 1.5 hours as well. So I started my social media journey this way. June 2022, I quit my job. And then once I quit my job, I decided that content is something I want to pursue full time. It was a tough decision. Why? Because I was getting a salary of 25 lakh rupees per annum when I quit my job. And when I quit my job, I thought that content is something I want to do full time. And I come from a Jain Marwadi family. And as all of you would know that, okay, if I'm coming from a business family, the ultimate question or decision would be that इसमें पैसा बनेगा या नहीं बनेगा. That was the only question which my parents had when I was quitting my job. And already I explained them that okay, there is like a lot of like there's a lot of monetary benefit also in content if you're doing well, and a lot of brand endorsements etc. keep happening. So to be transparent with everyone, I was making more money in content as compared to the salary. That's why I decided to quit my job in June 2022. Going forward, I decided that I'll build my own team. I started doing everything myself. I used to edit my videos. I used to shoot my videos on an iPhone 5s back in those days, when I used to record it myself in my small room in Nasik. And then I used to edit it. I used to upload it on my social media handles. I used to design my own thumbnails, own reel covers using Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe Photoshop. And everything you have to do it from yourself, from scratch, when you're starting your own journey, is what I had realized. So once I started creating those videos, editing those videos, uploading it, I got to know what are like the nuances and what are the pros and cons of like using several tools out there. Once I did that, then I built a team of today it's a team of 10 full-time people, but I gradually started building a small team. So I used to do all my podcast on Zoom. I used to interview all my guests on Zoom, and the only cost for me was 1,200 rupees per month, which was the Zoom subscription, because I didn't want to have that 40-minute interruption in those Zoom podcasts, because my podcast used to be of 1 or 1.5 hours. So I didn't want that 40 minutes wala leeway. So I had taken a Zoom subscription. After the Zoom subscription, I thought that let me now go at guest's house and let me shoot the podcast in their office. So मैंने 2023 में मैंने क्या किया, I went to the guest house or guest office, and मैं उनको बोलता था कि मेरे पास freelancers का team है, we'll come with our cameras and mics and we'll shoot it at your place. Entire 2023 I did it that way, and I used to do in-person podcast, because I thought कि अगर एक relationship build करनी है सामने वाले guest के साथ, you have to do it in person no matter where the person is. I'll rather travel to Delhi or Bangalore, even if the person is not in Bombay, and shoot those podcasts at their house or office. That's how 2023 happened. And 2024, I decided that I should now build my own studio. And now I've built my own studio with a proper camera, mic, and all the setup here, where we shoot all our podcasts. In a week, we shoot around 5 to 6 podcasts. We have a team of 10 full-time people, out of which 3 are videographers, 3 full-time video editors, 2 designers, 1 social media manager, 1 content strategist, and 1 guest outreach manager. So we have like a total of 10 people who are helping me scale this particular venture of mine. And that's how like I thought that what started as a side hustle, what started as an accidental content creation journey would become a full-time podcasting gig. That is something which I never imagined. So today we are like active across 7 social media platforms. We are doing around 30 million views a month across social media. The thing about me is that I am I'm uploading a lot of content, in the sense that there are a lot of creators in India who are uploading content, but my frequency, I think it's just too much, in the sense we upload 3 YouTube videos every week, which is 12 videos a month. We upload 1 reel every single day on my Instagram handle, which is 30 reels a month on my handle. We have a separate Instagram handle called Conversation with Kushal, where we upload 6 to 7 reels every single day, which is almost 200 reels per month on that Instagram handle. We upload 2 YouTube shorts per day on my handle, which is 60 shorts per month. We upload 1 LinkedIn post per day, which is 30 LinkedIn posts a month. We upload 3 podcasts on Spotify, Apple, and we write 2 InShorts articles every day, which is almost 60 InShorts articles every month on InShorts platform, where we are writing what we learn from our guests. So if you see, the quantum of content is too much. It's like a content factory that is being developed, and we are just trying to disseminate the content through all the social media platforms. The secret here is that there is one hero asset meaning that one long form YouTube podcast of 2 hours is called as a hero asset, and that hero asset is then repurposed on all these social media platforms. So if you see, I don't have to take extra additional effort in order to create content for different social media platforms. एक podcast 2 घंटे का can be repurposed into reels, LinkedIn post, in shorts article, Twitter thread, Spotify episode, Apple episode, and LinkedIn post as well. So one hero asset is being created, and that is disseminated on all these social media platforms. Lastly, just to conclude before I hand it over to Supriya ma'am, is that the reason I think this is very important in today's journey is because we as chartered accountants, we have a lot of technical knowledge on finance, taxation, auditing, everything. But what we lack, I feel, is the digital branding, or what we lack is putting ourselves out in the media. And I think if we overcome that fear of putting ourselves out, we will benefit so much, not only in terms of work that we'll get, but also in terms of putting ourselves out, being more confident, making our entire CA fraternity proud, and ensuring that we are also adding value and educating it to our audiences. So many people have now started creating content, and I feel very, very proud and happy that they are at least starting from LinkedIn, which is an easier platform as compared to Instagram and YouTube. For Instagram और YouTube आपको कैमरा लेना पड़ेगा, माइक लेना पड़ेगा, which is little effort, like उसमें थोड़ा effort ज्यादा लगेगा. But LinkedIn and Twitter is more like you have to write it, you have to research, and then you have to post either with a photo or without a photo, whatever you are comfortable with. That is at least much easier. So I think a lot of CAs have started doing that out, and I have been like requesting and convincing a lot of renowned CAs also to be active on social media, and just to ensure that they are building their personal brands as well, which I feel is going to be a game changer. Today's youth is not spending time on traditional media, in my opinion. No offense to all these media houses, but I feel that today's youth, they are not watching CNBC or Z Business or Aaj Tak or any of the news channels these days. People of my age are watching, let's say, YouTube. They are watching podcasts on YouTube. They are watching reels on Instagram. They are watching shorts on YouTube. They are consuming content on LinkedIn. They are reading Twitter threads, and they are subscribing to some newsletters which they feel they are very insightful. They are not even like reading a physical newspaper of Economic Times or Livemint, because they feel that they are getting good content from all these sources. So my request or my appeal to all the people who are watching this is that no matter how good you are in your traditional media, I would urge you to at least start your social media journey, and that is going to build your personal brand, because today audience wants to connect with the founder, and they don't necessarily want to connect with the brand. That's why if you see all the sharks of Shark Tank India, that's why if you see all the big founders, even like outside India, in the US, etc., they've started building their personal brand. So audience or the customers feel very connected and very close to the founder, and that is going to be the importance. So I'd urge all of you to just start your social media journey, and it's going to be very, very helpful to all of you, mark my words. And you're not only going to get benefit in the form of getting work, but also just sharing out content that you feel is going to add a lot of value to your community. So with that, I'll just conclude my talk. I'll hand it over to Supriya for any of for further questions, and then we take questions from the audience as well.
Yeah, Thank you, Kushal. I have been following your journey and I knew about it, but not so much in detail. So it was really very inspiring to know, like, from where you started, from LinkedIn to where you've reached now. I was just very curious to know, um, you are born and brought up in Nasik, and now where you've reached. You are in the Forbes India's digital star list. So, what were the key turning points in your career?
So I think two or three turning points for that. One was basically where I decided I want to start a YouTube video. That was the first turning point. I want to start creating a video. I did it for my selfish purpose also. I wanted to improve my communication skills. I got rejected by BCG and they said that your communication skills are not the best. We are not comfortable putting you in front of the client on day one. And I decided that I want to improve my communication skills anyhow. If a company like BCG is saying I lack communication skills or I lack confidence, it means that I really lack and I want to just work upon that. So I decided I'll create my YouTube videos. That was the selfish motive with which I started my YouTube journey, and I'm being very frank and transparent about it. And that led to the start of my content creation journey. So I thought, let me create a video in front of the mobile. Let me count the number of times I'm fumbling, or let me count the number of times I'm not able to speak in front of a camera. And I was just trying to reduce the fumbles or reduce the number of times I was hesitating in front of the camera over every video which I was recording. That was the first turning point in my career. The second turning point I feel was when I decided to quit my job. Honestly, that was one of the riskiest decisions I would have taken, because you're getting a stable source of income of 2 lakhs per month being credited in your bank account. After deducting tax, it's like around 1.5, 1.7 lakhs per month. And all of a sudden, you decide to quit your job, and then you are on your own with instability in the source of income that you are going to get. And you don't even know if you're going to make money in the next month. I still remember, I think April and March 2023, which was like almost 8 months after quitting my job. These 2 months, I didn't make any money. Like, I didn't get a single brand deal, because that was the uncertainty in the brand deals market as well. A lot of VCs had stopped giving money to these startups, and a lot of startups had stopped spending or splurging on influencer marketing that time. So that was the riskiest decision, but I think that turned out well, because if I hadn't quit my job, I don't think I would have been able to build a team of 10 people, build a studio, and help scale this podcasting thing, because now we've recorded 254 podcasts in the last 3.5 years. So I want to like scale this number, and I want to take this to at least like 1000 in the next 2 to 3 years itself. So that is something which was another turning point. The third turning point, which I feel, is taking a risk of building everything in house. So I'll tell you, earlier I used to do everything outsourced, and in the start I think you need to do outsourced as well. So my videographers were outsourced, my video editors were outsourced, they used to be freelancers. I had a social media manager agency who used to work with a lot of different creators. Then I realized that the quantum of work is so high. There are so many content assets which we are producing on a day-to-day basis. I need to build a full-time in-house team. Once I built my full-time in-house team of 10 people, I realized there is a magic in building an in-house team. Although the cost will go up because you are paying salaries and all, but the training that you give everyone and the kind of output that everyone gives after a point in time, that is something which really helps you in order to scale your content journey. So this was another turning point, which was more on the lines that after building an in-house team, the proportionate of work and the quantum of content also increased. I became more efficient, the team became more efficient, and we decided that we are going to increase the frequency. I'll tell you, I started with one video per week on YouTube in 2020. 2 साल तक मैंने यही frequency follow की. 2023 and 2024, we used to do 2 videos per week, every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 p.m. sharp. And now, March 2025 onward, which is just 6 months back, we are doing 3 videos a week on YouTube every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We upload at 7:57 p.m. sharp. So that's something which we do because we feel that a lot of creators upload at 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. We need to just upload a couple of minutes or 3 minutes in advance. So if the person watches our thumbnail, if they click on our video, they should be addicted to watch the video for the next couple of hours, and they should just finish it before going on any other thumbnail and getting distracted by other creators' upload. So all the creators will upload at 8 p.m. or 8:30 or 9 p.m. And that's why we have intentionally decided to upload it a couple of minutes prior to the exact time. So that's how we try to scale our journey. So these are the three turning points when it comes to my professional career. Personal, if you ask me, I think one turning point which is very, very close to my heart has been the decision of pursuing chartered accountancy. So I still remember, like I'll walk you through those days when I decided I want to do CA. This is 2013 end. So I was giving my 10th exams and I decided that I would want to pursue this course. Once I decided, I got to know that I can give my CA foundation exam after my 12th appeared. I appeared in my 12th in November 2015, and I gave my CPT in December 2015, immediately after 1 month. So 6 months I saved because I was in IGCSE and A levels curriculum, and our exam used to get over in November 2015. So that was another turning point because CA course really taught me something that no other courses taught. Like soft skills wise, if you see, patience, discipline, studying for 12 hours a day for 5 months without any single distraction. Those kind of soft skills is something that is going to help you ultimately in the future. No matter, like, a lot of technical hard skills have been taught, but honestly speaking, I'm not using them a lot in my journey right now. But the soft skills which CA courses taught me is something that I have really used a lot in my work journey as well today, and that has helped me in order to achieve a scale of 30 million views a month or 1.2 million followers on social media, I think.
That's absolutely great, Kushal. And actually, that 757, I thought it is something to do with maybe your lucky number. So I understood there's a strategic decision behind it. That's great to know.
No, actually, a lot of people ask me that, भैया आप 757 पे क्यों अपलोड करते हो? आपने बोली न्यूमरोलॉजी, आपने कोई न्यूमरोलॉजी को कंसल्ट किया है? उन्होंने बोला है, I mean, honestly, I don't believe in all of that. But it's a strategic move where we experimented with the data and we got to know that our audience is most active between 7 to 8 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m., sorry. And we thought that 757 try karte, and our views jumped, and our CTR, which is the click-through rate, which means that out of 100, how many people are clicking on the thumbnail, that increased because of that.
Okay. I have many questions, but we have a question from the audience, so I'll take that up. Sumit Jain is asking how to be self-confident while recording.
Sure. So I think initially it might be a little tough because you are camera conscious as a person. When I started, I was very camera shy. I was very camera conscious. Initially, it will be a little tough, but you don't need to necessarily upload those videos. It is just for your reference. If I show you my first videos, which I have not uploaded on my channel, you will just laugh and you will be like, "Ki, ye banda bhi YouTube creator ban sakta hai kya?" And I also laugh on those videos. In fact, I also laugh on my own videos right now. If I see my first YouTube video, I am like, I am not at all confident. And that is a journey which you will just like experience over a period of time, be it like 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. So even if you're not confident, that is absolutely fine. My only advice is to start your journey. Just face the camera, talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you think you can upload this, just go for it. If you think you need improvement, record it again after a day, record it again after 2 days, etc. And then until you become very confident to speak in front of the camera, that is the day you will be like, Abhi, now I have like nailed it and I'm going to upload this video. One piece of advice is that do not upload the video only because of the fear that you feel you're underconfident and you have the fear that people will laugh if they see this video. Don't have that fear at all. I will tell you my story. I got so many messages from my school friends. They used to be like, "Ye kya bana raha hai? Aise kaise baat kar raha hai?" And they used to make fun of me. And my English was not that strong, honestly, when I used to make those videos. And they used to point out some grammatical errors and they used to make fun of me. And they used to share my videos and thumbnails in the WhatsApp group of our school. And they used to be like, "What is he doing?" etc. Because if you see, sometimes the thumbnails are clickbaity also, in the sense that you have to give some random expressions, you have to give some shocking expressions in the thumbnail so that people can click on the thumbnail. So I remember there was one thumbnail where I had I had done this kind of a reaction. So this was the reaction, and the title of the thumbnail was basically "My Failures Revealed," or "I failed, but I did not quit," something of that sort. So a lot of people started making fun of me that what kind of photo is this on the thumbnail. My only advice to you is that there will be like hundreds of such people who will make fun, but you have to upload the video no matter what others are going to say. Just start your journey, be like little confident when you start, and automatically once you start speaking in front of the camera, day 3, day 7, or day 30, maximum day 30, that you will be like, you have like mastered the art of confidence, and you will like be very easier. Like, you'll be very natural in front of the camera after a point in time. So that'll just come over time. I also remember when I started my journey, I had fumbled a lot. I have not uploaded a couple of videos because I felt I was not the best when it comes to confidence and all. Dheere dheere, I realized that, okay, I'm getting better. I'm improving in terms of my confidence. And I used to record videos of, let's say, I used to upload videos of 10 minutes. सो 10 मिनट का वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए पहले इनिशियली आई शुड टेक 20-25 मिनट्स बिकॉज बहुत फंबल्स होते थे, तो 25 मिनट्स का टोटल रिकॉर्डिंग होता था. आई यूज टू ट्रिम दैट डाउन टू 10 मिनट्स. एंड देन धीरे धीरे आफ्टर 1 ईयर आई रियलाइज कि 10 मिनट का वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए मुझे बस 12 मिनट लग रहे हैं, एंड 12 मिनट में से मुझे 2 मिनट ट्रिम करना है. Now you can't reach the perfection level that 10 मिनट का वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए 10 मिनट ही लगेगा. That cannot be possible. Even the biggest of the biggest creators can't do that. Everyone is going to fumble. Everyone is going to take pauses. You just have to realize कि ये जो time जो है 25 मिनट से 10 मिनट का, that should reduce ultimately. That should be the goal. And once you start, you will automatically learn that.
Thank you, Kushal. Just related to what you were saying, so how do you take this criticism, trolling and all? How do you take it positively? Does it impact you?
So that's a good question. I'll tell you honestly, the first time I got hate comment on my YouTube channel was August 2020. And I remember this clearly. I'll tell you why. So 20th May 2020, as I told you, was the day when I uploaded the first video on YouTube. August 2020 में मैंने एक वीडियो डाला था, how to stay motivated during lockdown. तभी lockdown चल रहा था. And exams were being postponed because of COVID lockdown. So I created a very good motivational video just for students to stay focused and don't get distracted because of lockdown and don't get demotivated because your exams have been postponed. One guy commented that तू ये सब ज्ञान हमको मत दे, हमको बस बता that हमारी एग्जाम्स कब होगी, हमको ये सब ज्ञान सुनने में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. And I felt dejected at that point in time because I thought कि मैंने इतना अच्छा 10-15 मिनट का वीडियो बनाया and I'm trying to just add value to the audience. Why is someone like putting a hate comment and abusing me just because I'm just helping all the others? And that day I spoke to my friend. I called him. I told him that मैं YouTube चैनल बंद कर रहा हूँ मेरे को यार YouTube करना ही नहीं है, यहाँ पर hate comments बहुत मिलते हैं, and मतलब मेरे में इतना कॉन्फिडेंस या गट्स नहीं है कि आई एम गोइंग टू डील विद ऑल दिस, इससे मेरे को बहुत अफेक्ट होता है एंड मैं तो डिप्रेशन में चला जाऊंगा. आई टोल्ड हिम दीस थिंग्स. He explained me one beautiful thing, that if you quit this right now, you won't be able to become successful at all in the future also. As and when you grow, haters are going to come in any which ways. Even if you start your own company, ultimately वो बड़ी कंपनी बन गई, तुम्हारे कस्टमर्स कभी ना कभी hate comments डालेंगे अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट रिव्यू अच्छा नहीं गया तो. If you become a biggest creator, you go and watch all the comments of big creators and sort by newest first. आपको दिखेगा पिछले 10 comments में से एक comment hate या negative होगा. And he explained me that these comments are by people who are already very negative in their lives and they don't have any social media or any platform to vent out their frustration and feelings. तो वो लोग क्या कर रहे हैं कि उनके कोई दोस्त नहीं है, वो लोग इतने isolated है that they just want to type and they want to vent out their frustration. You are one of the mediums because you can't see them, they can't, like they're just seeing your videos, you can't see them, you don't know them, so they're just typing their frustration out. So instead of thinking that they have given a hate comment because of you, just think that their life is very bad as of now, their mental state is not the best, and they are venting out their frustration and they are typing it because they want to vent out to someone and they are not able to vent out to their friends because they have no one in their lives. That is the explanation which my friend gave me, and I realized that it's such a beautiful thing which he explained me, that as and when you are going to grow as a person, haters are bound to come. You can't make everyone happy. Like there is not a single person in this planet which like who can make everyone happy. So that was the first time I dealt with a lot of hate, and that's when I realized that this is going to be a part and parcel of the creator journey. If I have decided to become a full-time creator, I should be okay with hate coming in because you're always putting yourself out on social media, and if you're like uploading so much content now every single day, you're definitely going to get some sort of hate and negative comments. There's a difference between hate and criticism. Okay, so criticism is something that can be positive as well. I'll give you an example. I was doing a podcast with Mr. Saurabh Mukherjee, who's the founder of Marcellus Investment Managers. I did first podcast with him in October 2020, which was during COVID, which was virtual. Okay, I was sitting in my home in Nasik. That was a virtual podcast. I did a lot of these kind of statements. Like when I was listening to him, he was speaking and I was interrupting him a lot in the podcast. And I was like acknowledging his statements by saying, So if you see like, hum jab bolte hai, like when you're acknowledging to someone, you say a lot of these, these kind of things. That was evident in the podcast. And I didn't want to hamper the viewer's experience. I got so many criticism in the comments stating that आप ये जो बार-बार कर रहे हो वो हमको बहुत ऐसे irritating लग रहा है, and we are like getting it very like we are not able to listen to what Saurabh is speaking, and बार-बार आपका ये हमको सुनाई दे रहा है, so please stop doing it in the future podcast. And I loved it so much because उसके बाद से I have not done that in my single podcast, and people appreciate me for that. that Kushal, you have very good listening skills and you never interrupt your guests. Today, if my USP as a podcaster has been there, it's only because of not interrupting the guests and letting them flow and letting them speak in the flow. That is something which I like to do. So even during the shoots that we are going, I ask the question, अगर उनको 30 मिनट का भी आंसर देना है ना, आधे घंटे का आंसर मैं उनको देने दूंगा. ऑल्दो इट इज अप टू मी कि 30 मिनट में से कितना मेरे को डालना है, 10 मिनट डालना है, 15 मिनट डालना है, दैट इज अप टू मी. बट आई विल नॉट इंटरप्ट देम बिकॉज वंस आई इंटरप्ट द गेस्ट दे ऑल्सो फील यार ये बार बार इंटरप्ट कर रहे हैं, एंड दे वोंट ओपन आउट और दे वोंट लाइक जस्ट वेंट आउट ऑल देयर थॉट्स एंड फीलिंग्स इन द पॉडकास्ट. सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच वी डू as a team, and that is a negative criticism, but I took it positively in the sense it really helped me. I will never be sad about these comments because this is helping me to grow as a podcaster. You have to listen to what your audience wants. So that is something which really helped me, and that's how I think I just like figured out that this is something which I want to do ultimately. And going forward, I just ensured that jo bhi hate comments are, just read them. Don't reply. I don't reply to any comments, hate comments and all. Just read them. Whatever are criticism, try to improve. जो भी negative comments है, hate comments है, just for the sake of it, I try to ignore them. I wrote a post on LinkedIn which went quite viral across the world actually. I wrote a post where I stated that I don't have Netflix, I don't have Amazon Prime, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Doesn't mean I'm not enjoying my life. For me, enjoyment is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I said, just because others feel you are not enjoying your life doesn't mean you aren't actually enjoying your life. Everyone has different definitions of enjoyment. This post got 10.9 million impressions. Okay. Like 10.9 million impressions, and this was like viral across US, UK, Japan, Singapore and all. And then I got a lot of hate comments on this. There were 4,000 comments, out of which 100 comments were like bashing me left, right and center. People were commenting ki ye sab tu gyan kyun de raha hai LinkedIn pe, just go and do your own work. If you have the time to write this shitty post, then you also have the time to watch Netflix and all. You're just trying to be super like artificial and all. So I realized that everyone has different point of view. It's fine. I wanted to give my point of view, and I did not delete that post. मेरे दिमाग में एक बार आया था कि यार ये पोस्ट डिलीट कर देता हूँ बिकॉज बहुत हेट कमेंट्स है. बट इफ आई वुड हैव डिलीटेड दैट पोस्ट, आई थिंक आई वुड हैव लॉस्ट और आई वुड हैव हैड क्विट, एंड इट वुड हैव मेंट कि द हेट कमेंट्स वर बॉदरिंग मी अ लॉट. And I just decided to let it go with the flow. So this is how I think you should deal with hate, if in case you get it.
Yeah, thanks. So criticism, yeah, if you take it well, that's the best thing. And the negative comments can be ignored, not putting in energy there. Absolutely. And Kushal, I've read that LinkedIn post, and it is that I am somewhat similar. So you can call me also boring, but yes, I agree with you. And just talking about Saurabh, sir, I remember that incident, not connected to this, but I had read your post, like when you had your online first podcast and you met with an accident, but in spite of that, you went there. And that shows your commitment. So that's something, how committed you are. Really, we commend all that you're doing. And now
Thank
if I
you.
want to ask you, as a chartered accountant, how well placed are we to make an impact on the digital platforms, like as chartered accountants?
This is the best question actually, and thank you so much for asking this. I'll tell you, we as CAs, we have so much of knowledge out there, be it on personal finance, be it on tax planning, be it on auditing, be it on, let's say, helping people manage their money. So much of knowledge. The thing is that we are not able to put it out on social media, or we are not able to like nicely put it out anywhere out there. And I feel that there are so many creators. I don't want to name anyone, but there are so many creators who are not even from finance background, honestly, and they are creating finance content. And if you meet them, no, honestly, you'll feel यार इसको तो depth ही नहीं है बिल्कुल भी. And they are just creating content. They'll maybe use some AI tools, or they'll do some shallow research ऊपर से, and they'll make the reel because they understand content well and not finance. दो चीजें, एक है finance समझना और एक है content समझना. The person who understands content and not finance can go viral on social media even by creating finance content, because they know कि क्या चलेगा क्या नहीं. But that will not build a good solid brand. But a person who understands finance as well as content is a person who will build a very good brand, and people will remember him or her because they understand both finance as well as content. So I'll tell you, we as CAs, we have plethora of knowledge out there, and so many people are like looking up to us to understand कि टैक्स कैसे प्लान करना है, लेट्स से वैल्यूएशन कैसे करते हैं, और हाउ टू लेट्स से सेव मनी, और हाउ टू सेव जीएसटी ऑन सर्टेन ट्रांजैक्शंस, व्हाट आर सम hacks in order to save taxes, how do I manage my own money. People don't even know like they should take health insurance, life insurance, what is the benefit of investing in mutual funds, how to select the right stocks, how to like select the right health insurance, life insurance, etc. There are like so many aspects which we as chartered accountants know, which a lot of people wouldn't know. So I feel that we have an added advantage over other people, and we should really focus and capitalize on this strength that we have been taught in the last 5 years of our CA journey. That अगर ये सब सिखाया है हमको, so we should start educating like the masses. And every single individual in India or outside India, they are going to file their taxes, or they are going to like they would want to save money, they would want to make money. सबको जानना है पैसा कैसे बचाते हैं या पैसा कैसे कमाते हैं. अगर आप इस पे ही सिखा सकते हो, educate कर सकते हो, there is a big gap out there in the market. I don't know any CA creator out there who is like making content on, let's say, corporate finance, for example. That is a niche again. Corporate finance where you can teach about valuations, weighted average cost of capital, discounted cash flow, financial modeling. There is a big gap in that segment. CAs can tap into that market. I don't know any chartered accountant or anyone in the industry, creator economy, talking only about mergers and acquisition tax, M&A tax, which is very niche. बट M&A टैक्स पे बात करके अलग अलग केस स्टडीज एक्सप्लेन करो कि ये ट्रांजैक्शन में क्या हुआ था, गिविंग रेलेवेंट एग्जांपल्स, teaching them using real life examples, that is something which can be done, which can be a game changer. That is something which no one is talking about. Third example I can give you, which is coming to the top of my mind, is that no one is talking about the forensic auditing, and that is also something which is very interesting. I think one CA who is listening to this can also create content on forensic auditing की कंपनीज में frauds कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. हमने ये कंपनी देखी, इसमें ये नंबर्स में घोटाला था, हमें लगा कि ये this is something which is fraud. If without naming the company, of course, if you can just explain what is going right, what is going wrong in the company, what did you study when you were doing that forensic auditing, or give examples of certain scandals that have happened in the past, what happened with some scam, Satyam scam, Sara scam, etc., and then talk about what went wrong in their numbers, what went wrong with Yes Bank crisis, ILFS crisis, forensic audit में क्या पकड़ा गया था, etc. That is another niche which we CS can tap into. All I'm trying to tell you is that we just need to be good storytellers, and we can automatically become good creators because we already have the knowledge of all these things, क्योंकि ये सब हमको पढ़ाया गया है हमारे करिकुलम में एंड हमारे आर्टिकलशिप में भी. आर्टिकलशिप में आई टेल यू, मैंने टैक्स में आर्टिकलशिप की, ओके, एंड आई रिमेंबर दैट देयर वर सो मेनी कूल एंड इंटरेस्टिंग केस स्टडीज ऑन टैक्सेशन दैट आई फेल्ट कि यार कितनी इंटरेस्टिंग है. मतलब मैं अगर लोगों के साथ शेयर करूंगा तो उनको भी मजा आएगा ये सुनने में. मम्मी पापा को मैं अगर बोलूंगा तो उनको भी मजा आएगा ये केस लॉ या ये मतलब इंटरेस्टिंग केस स्टडी सुनने में. सो इवन इफ लेट्स से समवन इज प्रैक्टिसिंग डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन, एक पूरा कंटेंट और वन इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल कैन बी क्रिएटेड ऑन दिस टॉपिक, interesting case laws of direct tax, and जितने भी interesting judgments हुए, very unique or very like out of the box, mind blowing, which will like be shareable and saved by a lot of people. That is a good content idea. So all I'm trying to tell you is that we as CAs should definitely capitalize on this and start putting ourselves out. That is the starting journey. And lastly, I'd like to say that अगर चलो video format नहीं भी होता है, but हमें इतना ज्यादा knowledge है that we can break it down into a LinkedIn post and start putting it out on LinkedIn. Simple. So अगर आप LinkedIn पे भी put out कर लोगे, that is going to be a good start of your content creation journey. I feel आपको video record करने की जरूरत नहीं है because a lot of people are camera conscious, as we discussed earlier. तो अगर video को जितना confidence नहीं आ रहा है, तो you can just make a LinkedIn post and you can make a carousel and you can just post it and explain in a very simplistic manner. So I think that these are like certain things which we can do as CS in order to educate our audience. The only advice I have is just put yourself out, start the journey. धीरे धीरे ups and downs हो गए, आपको ही समझ आ जाएगा ऑडियंस को क्या चाहिए आपसे, and you'd only realize that मैं क्या better कर सकता हूँ. The only thing stopping you right now is to start. एक बार आप start कर लोगे, automatically you will learn.
So, Kushal, you're saying that, for someone like me, for example, who's not very comfortable with camera conscious, first I should start with LinkedIn and then maybe move on to short form and then long form. That would be the ideal way out.
Yeah, so ideally this is the way. Although if you take my example, इसका complete उल्टा है. मेरे journey में YouTube was the first where I started. Then I started LinkedIn and then I started Instagram. But I started back in May 2020 when COVID was there. I think I was at the right time at the right place because everyone was consuming a lot of content. Today, it has become a little difficult to be a creator. Why? Because firstly, it's a level playing field for everyone to be a creator. Today, using artificial intelligence, I think that anyone can become a creator. You won't believe, guys, there are people, in fact, even I've started doing it, by the way. We are using AI in order to create reels where I am not even present in front of the camera, and you won't even realize that these reels are AI generated. I have created my AI avatar, and I give the script to the avatar, and that avatar is being made like speaking on my behalf. मेरा फेस है, एंड हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि अगर रील 1 मिनट का है तो 45 सेकेंड्स में बी रोल्स ऐड करेंगे. बी रोल्स मतलब क्या, कि अगर मैंने बात की है कि मुंबई वर्ली सीलिंग, तो हम मुंबई वर्ली सीलिंग का वीडियो चला लेंगे, सो दैट माय फेस इज नॉट विजिबल. So people don't get to know that this reel is AI generated. So what I'm trying to tell you is that with AI, it has become so easy for everyone to become a creator that the competition has increased immense. So I would recommend that अगर किसी को creator बनना है, start with text platform, start with Twitter or LinkedIn, because your USP will be the kind of insights that you are sharing which no one can. And secondly, your USP is your ability to simplify those topics, simplify even the complex of the complex topics in the most simplest manner. That is your USP. So start with LinkedIn, start with Twitter. Dhire dhire, then you can go on Instagram because it is less effort. You have to record a 30 seconds, 45 seconds reel. You can use tools like Heygen, Heygen, where you can create your AI avatar, and you can like ask Heygen to create a reel for yourself. You can use tools like 11 Labs, which will create your own audio. You just have to give the script to 11 Labs and it will generate your entire audio end to end. Abhi, we are experimenting with this new tool called Hooked, which is again a Mumbai-based company, only a 22-year-old guy. Um, uh, so he has created something where you can just type in what kind of video do you want, and your AI avatar can just create that reel and add B-rolls as well. We are using a tool called Polar Cut, which is again a startup by IIT Delhi graduate, again a 22-year-old guy. I got on a call with him day before yesterday. We signed a contract yesterday. That tool is helping me take out 85 reels from every podcast. Can you imagine, like, one podcast, if it's of 3 hours that I upload on YouTube, that platform is so smart. It is just helping me take out 85 reels from every podcast, and I have the ability to choose which reels I have to upload on my Instagram handle. So all I'm trying to tell you is that AI has made it so easy for everyone to create content. If we use AI smartly, you can just create content, and it has become a level playing field for everyone. So I think anyone and everyone can become a creator today using artificial intelligence. It's just that you need to put yourself out, you need to start. इसका एक advantage ये है कि you can also use AI to become a creator. इसका एक drawback ये है कि competition बहुत बढ़ गया है. But today what has happened is that, I did one interesting thing. I inserted in Google Gemini Pro last 50 LinkedIn posts of mine, okay? And I told it, just analyze my style, okay? How do I write? And just tell me what are the CTAs, what are the hooks I'm using, and just tell me what I'm doing right on LinkedIn and analyze the most viral posts. उसने करके दिखाया. मैंने फिर पूछा कि give me some 10 topic ideas which you think I can write it on my LinkedIn, and then it gave me some topic ideas, and I asked it कि okay, इसका LinkedIn post बना के दो in my own style. So using AI, like, सारे they can learn the style of other creators also, and they are making all these LinkedIn posts as well. So all I'm trying to tell you, it's become so easy to become a creator these days. It has become a level playing field. It's just that ये AI tools को train बहुत करना पड़ता है. It's not that कि everyone can use these AI tools. I have trained these tools like for the last 6 months, 8 months. उनको back and forth बताया कि मेरा style कैसा है, how do I want, because I think I understand content better as compared to the AI tool. So I have to tell them कि what works, what doesn't work. And ultimately it's my decision. मेरे को पता है कि AI ने मेरे को ये content piece दे दिया, but ultimately I know ये चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा because of my last 5 years of content experience. मतलब last 5 साल में मैंने 1600 वीडियोस अपलोड किए यूट्यूब पे, 2000 रील्स अपलोड किए ऑन माय हैंडल ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. देयर हैव बीन लाइक 2000 पोस्ट व्हिच आई हैव रिटन ऑन लिंक्डइन. सो आई नो व्हाट वर्क्स, व्हाट डजंट. तो वो ट्रेन करने के बाद इतना बैक एंड फोर्थ हुआ है. सो आई वुड रेकमेंड कि लिंक्डइन से चालू करो, ट्विटर कर लो, सेम लिंक्डइन पोस्ट ट्विटर पे चला जाएगा. इसको इंस्टाग्राम पे कैरोसेल के फॉर्म में पोस्ट कर सकते हो. देन गो फॉर वीडियो फॉर्मेट ऑन इंस्टाग्राम, एंड देन फाइनली यूट्यूब, बिकॉज यूट्यूब इज द most difficult in my opinion across all the social media that we have discussed.
Thank you, Kushal. That was a detailed explanation with all the information. I'm going to listen to this recorded thing and note down. It's going to be really helpful. I was just very curious to know about storytelling. So you spoke about storytelling. I know AI in today's world is going to help us out, but storytelling as a skill for any digital creator, or you're an author, how important it is and how can you cultivate? Like, if you could tell us that.
So interesting one. I think storytelling is something which is the most important skill for anyone and everyone out there. So if you are not a good storyteller, you cannot be a good creator at all. And storytelling is going to be a differentiating factor between a successful and one unsuccessful creator. The way to learn or master the art of storytelling is few things which I have kept in my mind. Okay, so when I start any of my content piece, be it LinkedIn, be it Instagram, the first 3 seconds of the video or the text post have to be something which is a very strong hook. Either it is addressing to the problem of the audience, or it is something which is going to be very relatable and people are going to click on that see more button on LinkedIn because the first 2 lines are very impactful. So that is a good hook which is a part of storytelling. For example, last week I wrote a LinkedIn post talking about my stipend in year one, year two, year three. Okay. Now, if I step into the shoes of the audience, I know if they are going to read this LinkedIn post, they are going to feel very relatable and they are going to feel that यार ये तो मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, ये तो मैं भी मैंने ऐसे लग रहा है ये तो मैंने ही लिखा है ये वाला पोस्ट. एंड आई रोट दैट ईयर वन में मेरा स्टाइपेंड 3,000 था, ईयर टू में 3,500 पर मंथ था, ईयर थ्री में 4,000 पर मंथ था. But this is not something which money is not something that articleship has given me, but it has given me a lot of other lessons which have helped me in my ultimate life. And then I wrote 4 5 relatable things, that running late night towards Xerox shops for spiral binding, or filing and vouching the invoices late night just to ensure that you are meeting the deadline, clicking on the submit on the income tax portal just before the deadline because we want to file our taxes. So all of these things have taught me some or the other things. Now, if you see, I could have just said in a format कि यार आर्टिकलशिप ने मुझे क्या क्या सिखाया, आर्टिकलशिप में मैंने ये सीखी है, पेशेंस, डिसिप्लिन एक्सेट्रा. बट आई डिडंट डू दैट बिकॉज स्टोरीज हिट अ लॉट. इमोशंस अगर किसी के कैच करने तो आपको स्टोरी टेलिंग करनी है. तो इसलिए मैंने क्या बोला कि आर्टिकलशिप में मैं जेरोक्स शॉप में जाता था रात को, मैं टैक्स रिटर्न रात को फाइल करता था, सबमिट बटन दबाने के लिए रुकता था. सो दीज आर वेरी रिलेटेबल स्टोरीज एंड इंसिडेंट्स which happen with everyone. So people very much connect to someone who's using stories and who's using anecdotes because उनके लाइफ में भी ऐसा हुआ है and उनको भी ऐसा लगता है कि अरे यार ये पढ़ के मेरे को तो ऐसा लग रहा है मैं ही हुई है. Like this is something which I have written. So there's a very interesting concept in the content journey called a calorie burn concept. इसका क्या मतलब होता है, ये कंटेंट पीस पढ़ के अगर मेरी कैलोरीज बहुत ज्यादा बर्न हो रही है, इट मींस दैट इट इज नॉट अ गुड कंटेंट पीस. मतलब वो बहुत टेक्निकल है, किसी ने बहुत एकदम एक्सप्लेन किया है कि जेन स्ट्रीट में क्या गलत हुआ था, फ्यूचर्स, कॉल, स्ट्रैंगल, स्ट्रैडल, ये सब स्ट्रेटजीज क्या होती है, दैट इज क्वाइट टेक्निकल. इफ यू आर नॉट सिंप्लीफाइंग इट तो मेरे कैलोरीज बहुत ज्यादा बर्न हो गए एंड आई विल नॉट लाइक दैट कंटेंट पीस. On the other hand, like if you see a content piece which will not burn a lot of calories of the audience, मतलब वो एकदम light hearted है, एकदम easy to read है, that is a content piece which is going to be good. So for example, अगर मैंने just लिखा मेरा stipend इतना था, मैंने ये सीखा, it's a very easy read. मतलब ये पढ़ के ऐसे लगा नहीं कि मेरे को कुछ समझने जैसा था, मतलब मेरे को कुछ बहुत difficult लगा समझने में. So very few calories of the audience was burnt, and which is a good content piece. So whenever you write a content piece or if you want to be a good storyteller, think that your audience's calories should not burn a lot while reading that content piece. And that's why people who write a lot of technical stuff and they write a lot of long paragraphs explaining something, they'll not get they'll not get good engagement on their social media. People who are writing it in a very simplistic manner and they are just writing something which is very relatable in the form of storytelling, that is something which is definitely going to work well. So another example, if I give you of storytelling, is about my failure in interviews. Okay, so I just wrote a story that I got rejected by BCG in the final rounds of interview. I got rejected by Unilever. I got rejected by Mondelez, etc. And this is what went wrong. But doesn't mean it's the end of my life. I got selected in Aditya Birla Group, and I ultimately became a content creator because of the time that was saved because of the like not a very hectic job. So I used to create content during my job itself. अगर मैं BCG जाता तो शायद मैं content creator नहीं बन पाता because it's a very hectic role. Everyone knows you have to work 12-14 hours a day. You have to work 6-7 days a week, depending on what case you are being plotted on. So I just wrote a post कि everything happens for a reason. And today I'm happy that I didn't get into BCG because if I would have it gotten, I don't think I would have become a creator as such. So I wrote a very short post and it went viral. Like it crossed 10-12,000 likes and people liked it a lot. Again, it was because of a short story of my failure in the interviews. So storytelling के लिए आपको एक strong hook होना चाहिए which should be relatable. Audience को ऐसे लगना चाहिए तो मैं ही हूँ. उसके बाद एक anecdote or some example which will feel कि उनकी journey बात की जा रही है, and then a strong CTH which is call to action जिसमें आप invite कर रहे हो audience को उनके comments के लिए. So for example, I invite a lot of people in my LinkedIn post कि What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. Or if I'm writing about a course, CA, CFA, or ACCA, so I'll just write which course are you pursuing. Let me know in the comment section and follow for more insightful content, something of that sort. This is called CTA, which means people will engage in the comments, and people also engage because they feel that they are talking to me. And then I will just either like their comment or reply to their comment, and they feel engaged or they feel a part of the community. So that is again an important part of storytelling. Last example, if I can give you, is basically I did a post and a reel on a topic which was a corporate culture. Okay, and this also went pretty viral. I spoke about an incident where I got a call from my boss, and my boss blasted me, stating that you need to do this in the next 3 hours. It was 1:45 p.m. I was just heading for lunch. He told me that skip your lunch and you're not a school kid anymore. We have skipped our lunch multiple times for our bosses. And I felt very bad. And I decided to do lunch, and I finished the work in the next couple of hours. And then I gave him the assignment and all. And the point of that post was that just because you are in a company or a culture where you are skipping lunch or you are like working 24/7, it's not a proud moment. Don't be proud of these things. Instead, be proud of the fact that you are not sacrificing your personal life. Like sacrificing your sleep doesn't mean that you should be proud of that thing. So I wrote this story, and I just wrote ki you should choose your company first, and like the company should choose you, but you should also choose the company, was the point. And it was related, like it was very relatable, because सबके साथ ऐसा होता है कभी ना कभी. Their managers will either shout or blast, or they'll ask them to skip lunch sometimes. But there has to be a way of communicating, and there has to be like a very good bond between a manager and the reporting employee. And if everything is well, if trust is there, then even if the lunch is being skipped, it will be okay, because there is a way of talking, there's a way of requesting, and that bond is being developed, etc. So I think that was again a viral post. So again, if you see, I stepped into the shoes of my audience. मैंने देखा कि उनके साथ क्या problem चल रही है. I imagined कि okay मेरे साथ क्या हुआ है life में ऐसा, and then I just wrote that story in a very simple language. The final conclusion is that जितना simple रखोगे ना आप, उतना better होगा. You have to just keep it very simple. You have to keep it very like easy to read, and overcomplicate nahi karna hai. People don't like complex things at all. They just prefer something which is very simplistic, very easy to read. They want to feel as if they are a part of your journey, or they want to feel as if they are a part of you. And once they feel that, then you are a good storyteller automatically.
Lovely. So simple, raw, honest, that is what I think you mean, right? So Kushal, you spoke about one, storytelling, second, AI. Any other skills which are very much needed to survive in this digital world, especially if you want to be a thought leader here, or like create your own niche?
One thing is consistency. This is not a skill as such, but it's more like you don't have to stop. You have to be consistent. You won't get views for the first 2 months, 6 months, or even 1 year for that matter. A lot of people quit and they stop after 2 months or 6 months because they feel कि यार कोई पढ़ ही नहीं रहा है, कोई देख ही नहीं रहा है. So I think you should not stop. That is something which is very important. I have not seen a lot of people having that skill. Honestly, it's a sad reality, but it's an added advantage for you, because a lot of people are going to start and quit. If you have decided you are going to start and not quit, you have an added advantage. You have to be consistent. So that is one. The second skill, I think, communication and storytelling, of course, like this is something which is going to be very, very important. The third skill I feel today, which is very important, is content repurposing. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people spend time on different social media platforms. हर एक social media platform का कुछ ना कुछ usage है. मैं Instagram पे क्यों जाऊँगा? Because I want to release my stress. I want to have some fun. मैं YouTube पे क्यों जाऊँगा? Maybe because I want to learn something. Maybe because I want to watch something for 1 hour or 30 minutes and I want to just upskill myself. मैं LinkedIn पे क्यों जाऊँगा? Maybe because I want a job. I want to network with people, or I want to read some corporate stories or something about some people who are writing on their media platforms. Let's say TikTok जब था, मैं TikTok पे क्यों जाऊँगा? Because I just wanted to see, okay, some sort of entertainment or some sort of like entertainment creators, and I wanted to follow that. मैं Twitter पे क्यों जाऊँगा? Because I want to follow, let's say, all the stock market people. I want to read all their Twitter threads and what insights they are giving on stock markets. So all I'm trying to tell you, every social media platform has a different perception, and every social media platform has a different branding. So even if, let's say, मेरा YouTube video है 2 घंटे का, अगर आपका एक YouTube video है, try to repurpose that content according to every social media platform. That is very important. आपको हर एक सोशल मीडिया के लिए सेपरेट कंटेंट रिकॉर्ड करने की जरूरत नहीं है आज के एज में. आपने एक हीरो एसेट बना लिया यूट्यूब का एक 20 मिनट का वीडियो. Try to make some viral reel from that which will go viral on Instagram. Try to make a LinkedIn post of that which will go viral on LinkedIn. एक ट्विटर थ्रेड बनाओ वही 20 मिनट के वीडियो में से जो एक ट्विटर पे थ्रेड पे जा सकता है. And you can upload that from on your YouTube shorts also, making a 30-second or a 40-second YouTube shorts as well. So content repurposing is something which according to me is very important. I feel honestly that with all due respect to everyone, I feel that not a lot of people are good at that. I am also learning myself. I am trying to repurpose the content on different social media platforms. I feel that is something which is going to be a game changer. Like एक hero asset में से ये content को आप existing content को use करके अलग अलग जगहों पे कैसे वायरल कर सकते हो. I think one creator who has been able to do it very well is Raj Shamani, who I think has done a great job when it comes to repurposing content on different social media platforms. From his podcast, he'll either create some reels or carousels on LinkedIn, or he'll create some sort of Twitter threads that will go on Twitter. That tweet ka screenshot will go on LinkedIn. That LinkedIn post will be converted into an Instagram reel. Like everything is connected to some or the other social media platform. So that kind of repurposing, if we can achieve that at scale, that is something which is quite underrated. That is the third skill. Apart from that, I think so all other skills are okay. I mean, that can be outsourced if you're not expert, like video editing, video shooting, or let's say designing the thumbnails. I don't think we should learn all these skills ourselves. If there are experts, we can delegate it to them. But I think the most important is again storytelling, communication, your ability to engage the audience. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि दो टाइप के लोग होते हैं. वन, दे आर टाइप ऑफ पीपल हु आर वेरी सक्सेसफुल बट हु आर नॉट गुड स्टोरी टेलर्स. वो बहुत ऊपर ऊपर से बातें करते हैं, बहुत जेनेरिक ज्ञान देते हैं, इन द सेंस दैट दिस इज सम ज्ञान व्हिच इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी लव्ड बाय द ऑडियंस. बहुत ऊपर ऊपर से ये सब हमको पता है. सेकंड आर द टाइप ऑफ पीपल हु आर गोइंग टू गिव एक्शनेबल इनसाइट्स. Now these are the kind of people who will kill it on social media because everyone wants actionable insights. What is an actionable insight? ये सुन के मैं मेरे लाइफ में एक्शन ले सकता हूँ, इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकता हूँ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई आस्क्ड अ पॉडकास्ट गेस्ट कि what are some traits, what are some questions that you ask someone before hiring in a finance job, and what is the answer to that question? अगर गेस्ट ने मेरे को ऐसा आंसर दिया है कि यार आई लुक फॉर विजन, आई लुक फॉर हसल, आई लुक फॉर हंगर, आई लुक फॉर द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द टॉपिक, दिस इज अ वेरी जेनेरिक आंसर ओवर द टॉप ऑफ द व्यू. मतलब ये सबको पता है कि हसल देखते हो, हंगर देखते हो, पैशन देखते हो. This is an answer which I'll trim from my podcast with all due respect to the guest, but this is a very generic answer. What is a detailed answer? The guest is giving me an example. Okay, I asked him this question that whether the Nifty PE right now is 21.7. If yes, why? If not, why? And then he again says that the Nifty P is not 21.7, it is 38. Why? Because the free float of the companies, the Nifty P is taken using the free float market cap, and promoters holding are excluded. If you include the promoters holding, then the Nifty P is not 21 but 38. This is an actionable insight. Why? Because ये सुन के एटलीस्ट ऑडियंस को पता चला कि यार कैसे क्वेश्चन पूछते, इसका आंसर क्या है, तो ये उनको स्पून फीडिंग हो गया. सो अगेन आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू कि आपको स्पून फीड करना है ऑडियंस को, आपको उनको एक्शनेबल इनसाइट्स देने हैं. दैट इज अनदर स्किल व्हिच आई थिंक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज आपको रेलेवेंट एग्जांपल्स काफी देने हैं. If you can't give examples, then I don't think you can be a creator. Give more examples, give more actionable insights. Don't give a lot of generic gyan. That is something which will be a differentiating factor.
Got it. So we spoke about skills and all that we can do as CAs, but what about that mindset shift? I am doing the traditional work. How do I, maybe I'm thinking ki what will others think, or whether I'll be successful. What do I do about my mindset? How do I be open to this new, like if I'm interested, how can I be more open to, pursuing digital media as a career, like digital creation?
So again, that's a good question. See, I'll tell you, the thing is that it's going to come from within. So it is not going to come naturally to you in the sense wo turant nahi aayega, but it should come from within. Once you've decided that it is coming from internal, it is coming from within, that you have to do this, no matter what people are going to say, no matter what everyone will say, you have to just ensure that, okay, this is something which I have to do. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to become a full-time creator or you need to become a full-time podcaster. That is not something which I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that आपको full-time creator या podcaster नहीं बनना है, but आपको at least ये सब करना है जो आपको digital brand building की journey में help करेगा. That's it. So even if you're not a full-time podcaster or even if you're not a full-time creator, that's absolutely fine. But have a mindset that this digital brand is definitely going to help you, and this digital brand is definitely going to like be of some value to you, either in the form of getting work or in the form of getting some visibility on social media or in the form of getting some sort of, let's say, clients in the future or getting some sort of speaking assignments. कोई ना कोई फायदा होगा. But all my point is that don't go with this mindset. Go with a mindset कि आपको educate करना है audience को, आपको value add करनी है. Automatically आपको value मिल जाएगी वो content piece से. So the mindset should be more like कि I want to teach the audience. I want to just ensure that the knowledge that I have learned, I want to give back to the community. If this is the mindset, it becomes easier for all of us in order to like just go with the flow and just figure out ki, okay, I'm also going to start my digital journey. See, you need to realize that today everyone is on social media. As I told you, like every youth, everyone is spending a lot of time on social media. And ultimately, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, right? So you have to be visible where you want to, if you want to sell something. So where you will be visible, you'll be visible on social media. That's the ultimate truth right now. No one watches, let's say, abhi shift ho gaya. No one watches movies in the theaters. They'll watch on OTT platforms. No one will watch, let's say, televisions. They'll not watch a show like Shark Tank India or KBC on television. They'll rather watch it on Jio Hotstar or Netflix or Amazon Prime because they want to watch it as per their convenience. पहले लोग वेट करते थे कि 9 कब बजेगा 8 कब बजेगा ताकि मैं तारक मेहता का उल्टा चश्मा का एपिसोड देख लूं सोनी सब के चैनल पे. But now everyone has YouTube. All the episodes are almost uploaded on their YouTube channel with millions of views. People want convenience and people want to watch as per their own need and all. तो अगर पूरी दुनिया सोशल मीडिया पे शिफ्ट हो गई है तो why are you stopping and why are you not creating content on a platform which is being consumed by millions and millions of users every single day? So that is my advice, that start your journey with a mindset or with something which is more like कि आप basically social media use कर रहे हो not to become a full-time creator, but it will help you in your content journey or it will help you in your business as well. I know you're not a full-time creator, but even if you're a practicing chartered accountant, even if you're a chartered accountant who's doing a job in a company, you're at a CXO level, CEO or a CFO, start your LinkedIn journey at least, because you can always share and keep guiding the youth of India. If someone who loves mentoring the youth of India, I think it comes naturally to them, and उनको ऐसा लगेगा कि हाँ मतलब social media is just a way through which I can mentor thousands of aspiring CAs. So that should be the mindset that कि मेरे को mentor करना इतना अच्छा लगता है कि यार चलो मैं अभी social media के through करता हूँ, and this is just a medium. But the main thing is कि okay, mentor करना मुझे पसंद है. If that is the approach and if that is the mindset, automatically this will be conquered ultimately.
Yes. So, Kushal, you said that this is something which is needed, like whatever you're doing, whichever form of business practice. So, where do you see chartered accountants in the next 5 years with AI? Where do you see us CAs now, like in the next 5 years?
So I think CAs will really play a very, very important role as far as the Indian economy is concerned. Of course, I think that a lot of CAs are getting into newer opportunities, newer avenues as well. I really feel that we should definitely try to capitalize and use AI in order to just automate our processes and figure out the niche which we are expert in. Two, three things which I feel CAs will be very much involved in the near future, even after AI is there, is the advisory matter. So I don't think AI can do, let's say, very complex restructuring or tax advisory, M&A tax advisory, or some sort of litigation, income tax litigation. मेरे को नहीं लगता है कि AI उतना कर पाएगा, because you need to argue, you need to like present your thoughts. That is something which might take a little bit of time. Although there are companies which are trying to replace that, but I don't think that will happen. Secondly, I feel that a lot of CAs now are being preferred in multiple roles. पहले क्या होता था that we as CAs were only preferred in the back office roles. तो जो भी back office के roles है investment banking में, management consulting में, जैसे Bain का Bain capability network है, या तो EY का EY GDS है, इन सबके बैक ऑफिसेज होते हैं जहां पर यू नीड टू जस्ट मेक फाइनेंशियल मॉडल्स, मेक डेक्स एंड सबमिट इट टू द फ्रंट ऑफिस. एंड फ्रंट ऑफिस वालों का काम है कि क्लाइंट को पिच करो, क्लाइंट को कन्विंस करो. Now that change has happened where CAs are also being preferred in front office, and because of a lot of these things, because of like communication skills being improved, because of the technical skills being improved, I think CAs are also getting opportunity to work in like front office kind of roles. So if you see, पहले private equity या venture capital में कोई भी CA को hire नहीं किया जाता था, maybe 5 years back, or 5 years back, I think 7-8 years back. But recently, in the last 2-3 years, a lot of PE funds, VC funds, they've started recruiting chartered accountants left, right, and center. And I'd also tell you, sorry, there are a lot of VC funds who are also taking these CAs as industrial trainees because they get at a very subsidized cost of, let's say, around 30,000 per month. And वो industrial trainee लेते हैं 1 साल के लिए. If the CA performs very well, they give them a PPO, pre-placement offer, and that CA is then absorbed in the private equity fund or the venture capital fund. One of my juniors, he just became a CA in 2024. He did industrial training in Motilal Oswal Private Equity, and now he's working at Paragon Partners Private Equity. पहले कोई भी CA fresher को आज तक मैंने नहीं सुना है कि domestic PE में directly job मिल गया. He got a job in domestic private equity fund after his CA exams. Why? Because he did an industrial training in Motilal Oswal Private Equity. And that's why he got a job directly as a CA fresher. Varna, the route to getting into a PE is what you get. You need to get into investment banking or management consulting. 2 साल 3 साल वहां पे काम करो, या तो McKinsey, BCG, Bain में, या तो बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका, JP Morgan, गोल्डमैन सैक्स में. एंड देन उसके बाद आपको 2 या 3 साल बाद प्राइवेट इक्विटी में जंप करने का मौका मिलेगा, विच इज नॉट द केस एनी मोर. सो अगेन CAs आर लाइक killing it in those careers, finance careers as well. Other opportunity which I think CAs would do after 5 years is this entire forensic thing and the financial due diligence thing which is happening. I think that might increase, especially given the fact that a lot of transactions are happening right now, and CAs can also like help a lot in those kind of transactions. Lastly, CAs are also doing very well when it comes to fund management, especially if you see almost all the mutual fund houses CEOs I have seen, they have been either a chartered accountant or a MBA from IIM, the top IIM. So if you see Navneet Munot of HDFC AMC, he's a CA. Nilesh Shah of Kotak AMC, he's a chartered accountant. If you see like the largest PMS houses in India, Abacus, Mr. Sunil Singhania, he's a CA as well as a CFA and MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. I'm sorry, I don't know if he's MBA. I'll have to check, but he's a CA and CFA for sure. So basically, I'm trying to tell you that fund management industry also, there are a lot of CAs who are doing quite well, like starting their own fund and scaling that up, or going in the mutual fund industry and like being like the top level MD and CEO of the company, etc. So I feel that a lot of opportunities are there for chartered accountants. It's just that you need to decide what your calling is. Ultimately, whatever you're enjoying or whatever you're passionate about, do that. And if you like investing, that is a good career. If you like forensic auditing, that's a good career. If you like advisory, that's another good area. I don't think advisory is something which can be taken over by AI, because you just can't afford to make a mistake at a scale where you are raising thousands of crores or hundreds of crores for companies and you're using AI completely. I don't genuinely think इतना ज्यादा AI एडवांस में जाएगा. Although AI अभी already research analysts and इनकी jobs तो खतरे में कर ही रहे हैं. So I'll give you an example. There is a tool and there's a company which is creating a proper research report in a span of 12 to 15 minutes, and it is a research report which usually people would take 3 to 4 days. Research analysts would take 3 to 4 days to create. जैसे अभी broking houses होते हैं, उनके sell side buy side की reports आती है, right? तो वो रिपोर्ट्स जो होती है वो एकदम कलरफुल, वेरी ब्यूटीफुली प्रेजेंटेड. देयर इज अ थीसिस ऑन अ स्टॉक, बाय रिकमेंडेशन, सेल रिकमेंडेशन, टारगेट प्राइस. इट्स अ प्रॉपर 15-20 पेजेस का रिपोर्ट ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक. There is a company which is trying to replicate that entire report. You just need to type the name of the company, and basis its understanding and all, it will create an entire report of 15-20 pages. And you just have to type the name of the company, and 15 मिनट में आपको एक 15-20 पेजेस की रिपोर्ट मिलके आ रही है, जो एक एनालिस्ट 3 से 4 दिन लगाएगा वो रिपोर्ट बनाने में. तो AI इसमें आ रहा है. अगेन देयर माइट बी सम एरर्स इन द AI टूल जो ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हो मॉडल्स को. इसमें शायद रिप्लेसमेंट हो सकता है, वेयर रिपोर्ट्स बनाना या तो जो मंडेन टास्क होते हैं जो डे टू डे करते हैं वो ऑटोमेट हो जाएंगे. बट आई थिंक जो एनालिसिस का काम होता है, दिमाग का काम होता है कि डेटा आने के बाद डिसीजन लेना है कि ये कंपनी एक्वायर करनी है नहीं करनी है, ये ट्रांजैक्शन करना है नहीं करना है. दैट इज समथिंग विच I don't think AI can ever do. And even if AI does it, I don't think we should use AI for that, because we can't rely on a tool which is like advising some transaction on like some particular topic which we think we are the best at. So you can train the model, but I don't think AI अभी तक वो लेवल तक गया है कि वो सब ऑटोमेट कर लेगा. बट द मंडेन टास्क, मोनोटोनस टास्क जो वाउचिंग वेरिफिकेशन के हो गए या एनी अदर रेपिटेटिव टास्क इन नेचर जो होते हैं, I think that is something which can be easily automated using AI, and a lot of jobs might be lost, is my fear. But ultimately, you just need to upskill yourself. There was a person who said in my podcast that 40 million jobs might be lost by AI by 2040. And he was saying that because robots abhi aa gaye. Like robots are doing everything. If you see in China, robots are helping you with almost everything. Delivery of the product. Hotels mein agar aap jaoge, wahan par to robots are serving food to you. And human is not involved end to end. And this might happen even in India a few years down the line if like robots are going to be actively used. So robots आने के बाद how is the world going to be? I also think a lot of times, मैं मेरे दोस्तों के साथ यही बात करता हूँ, how is the future going to look like, and whether robots, AI ये सब dominate करेगा, कैसे करेगा, लोग क्या करेंगे फिर, because it's like such a big country and कितने सारे लोग हैं, what will happen to jobs? That is a day-to-day conversation which haunts me and which I also think of multiple times.
So at least for the next 10 years or so, AI is going to complement our work. And as far as we have expertise and in-depth knowledge, there's AI cannot replace CAs, and we have a bright future.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if I can give you an example from my industry, I think video editors के jobs भी थोड़े risk पे जाने वाले, because पहले video editors used to charge, let's say, 50,000 a month for editing 4 reels per day from a podcast. Okay, तो एक podcast में से दो तीन reels निकाल के edit करने में दे दें. अभी there are tools like Opus Clips, Clap, or let's say Riverside or Polar Cut, which are helping create reels from that video on a subscription model. तो अगर ऐसे tools आ रहे हैं industry में, then I think it's become very easier for us to like not use the editors and just use these tools and upload the videos on our handles. तो थोड़े jobs जा भी सकते हैं, is my fear. But if you're at the top of it, if you think your job or your area of expertise is something which might not be taken over by AI, then you're in a good place. I also fear sometimes कि आगे जाके लोग पॉडकास्ट नहीं देखेंगे, क्या करेंगे कि पॉडकास्ट की समरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट उठाएंगे, चैट जीपीटी में डालेंगे एंड बोलेंगे कि मेरे को ये समरी दे दो पॉडकास्ट की, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है 2 घंटा पॉडकास्ट देखने का. एंड पीपल माइट जस्ट रीड टू दैट पॉडकास्ट समरी एंड कोई पॉडकास्ट देखेगा ही नहीं 2 घंटे का. आई हैव दैट फियर ऑलवेज कि मैं पॉडकास्ट तो बना रहा हूँ, बट व्हाट इफ 2 years डाउन द लाइन एवरीवन इज जस्ट समराइजिंग द पॉडकास्ट ऑन नोटबुक LM और गूगल जेमिनाई और परप्लेक्सिटी और जीपीटी, एंड दे आर जस्ट रीडिंग द समरी एंड नॉट लिसनिंग टू द पॉडकास्ट. तो वो फियर भी मेरे को काफी होता है. But let's see. I've not thought what to do with it, but that fear always haunts me.
What I feel is, Kushal, ki as far as the emotions and the human connect is there, people are going to continue watching. That's what I.
Yeah, I agree with you. But कभी कभी क्या होता है, जैसे किसी के पास 2 घंटे 3 घंटे का टाइम नहीं है देखने का. So what they do is they put that link on Notebook LM, and Notebook LM basically gives you the summary of that podcast. So वो पॉडकास्ट का समरी बना के देता है, एंड अगर किसी को देखना है वो पॉडकास्ट 3 घंटे का, या देखना मतलब दे डोंट वांट टू वॉच दैट बट दे वांट टू नो द इनसाइट्स, तो वो डाल के समरी पढ़ लेंगे. तो यू आर राइट, इमोशंस आर देयर, बट समटाइम्स पीपल आर लाइक कि मेरे को फटाफट 5 मिनट में पढ़ना है क्या बात हुई है एंड क्या देखना है. सो दैट कैन बी लाइक substitute is what I feel.
The inputs, the main inputs.
Yeah.
Now, just coming to the human side, Kushal, like we understood all about your digital world. Now, I want to know that, like how you're doing so many things. You author books. You're doing so much content creation. You have 100+ talks. You go to corporates. How do you manage all this, and how do you be consistent, and at the same time, you don't get burnt out managing all the things that you're doing?
So I think I just try to prioritize things. That is something which has helped me a lot. So जो time पे वो priority है, that is something which I will do it. And actually after AI, no, I think it has become much easier, if you see honestly, to save your time. Like what used to take 2 days of research for me for a podcast guest is now taking me only 1 hour of research, because I go to Gemini Pro, I tell the deep research that I'm interviewing this guest, give me all the information. It takes 10 minutes and gives me like a 25-pager Word document, everything about the guest. I do the same in GPT deep research. I do the same in Perplexity Pro deep research. And all these three platforms give me different answers. And मेरा 1 घंटा जाता है ये तीनों documents पढ़ने में, 20 pages के 60 pages के documents. And I then frame my questions. I don't tell them to frame questions. I frame the questions ultimately myself. But मेरे को research बहुत हो जाती है. So अभी क्या हो गया कि with AI 2 दिन का जो काम लगता था मेरे को रिसर्च करने में, सारे पॉडकास्ट सुनने पड़ते थे गेस्ट के, सारे उनके लिंक्डइन पोस्ट पढ़ने पड़ते थे, अब ये एआई मेरे को ऑटोमेट करके दे देता है. So I'm able to save a lot of my time. So I feel that because of AI, people can do multiple things ultimately. Like, it's not an age, or it's not a what do you call it? It's not an era where everyone is just doing one thing. People can do multiple things at the same time. And Sam Altman said this in one of his podcasts lately, that one person can also build a $1 billion company. मतलब किसी को unicorn बनाना है, they don't need to hire a team. Even if they have like good AI tools with them, they can build a $1 billion company, and it might become possible as well in the near future. So I feel you should just prioritize your time, and automatically basically आगे जाके you can just manage it ultimately. So I try to calendarize everything. So everything is there on my calendar: lunchtime, dinner time, talking to mom, talking to dad, like जो भी meetings है वो सब calendarized होते हैं. So it helps me to stay systematic and disciplined. I have a fixed morning routine. I have a fixed sleeping time, waking up time. That helps me to stay disciplined. So it helps me to achieve a lot of tasks. 2 3 productivity hacks which I can share with you. One is that I maintain a to-do list very apt. So last 2 साल से मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैंने हर दिन पे टू डू लिस्ट बनाई है, एंड मैं वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में एकदम सिंपल, एंड मैं उसको स्ट्राइक थ्रू कर देता हूँ जैसे ही वो टास्क खत्म हो जाता है. So even if you ask me that, Kushal, what did you do on 2nd February 2025, which is 8 months back? मेरे को पता है मैंने क्या किया है, बिकॉज मैंने सब टू डू लिस्ट लिखा हुआ है, मैंने स्ट्राइक थ्रू किया है जो टास्क मेरे खत्म हो गए. सो आई नो व्हाट आई हैव डन इन द लास्ट 2 years. मेरे सारे टू डू लिस्ट डॉक्यूमेंटेड है. That helps me a lot to stay organized. I like to close loop. I don't like to keep them pending. So for example, even if someone has reached out to me and someone has asked me to, let's say, appear on a podcast or be a guest speaker, I will either say a no or a yes. So I will try to close the loop. मेरे को loop open छोड़ना नहीं पसंद है. So that is a habit which really helps me in order to like just close the loop. I try to reply to every single message that I get, and मेरे को ऐसा है कि यार loop close कर लो. Like उसने कुछ पूछा है, जो भी आंसर है yes no whatever it is, you just close the loop, so that वो दिमाग में ये नहीं चलना चाहिए कि अरे यार मेरे से ये छूट गया. So that is a habit which has helped me to stay on board, and मतलब कुछ छूटना नहीं चाहिए. That is one thing. The third thing which has helped me a lot is basically what I try to nowadays, मतलब ये मैंने recently शुरू किया है, is that I try to not use my mobile phone in the last half an hour or 1 hour of my sleep time. So if I'm sleeping at 10:30 or 11 p.m., so I would not try to use my mobile phone after 10 p.m. unless it is very urgent. So that has just helped me in order to like stay away from screen, stay away from mobile phone. Read कर लो या तो दोस्तों के साथ नीचे walk कर लो in my building. So that just helps a lot. That is another thing which helps me to stay productive. And abhi I have experimented with this. So what I'm trying to do now is that I try to avoid like let's say WhatsApp जो होता है ना, तो मैं अभी ट्राई कर रहा हूँ कि 1 घंटे में मैं उसको ओपन करूँ. लाइक इंटरनेट जो है मोबाइल का, मेरे इसमें नोटिफिकेशन सारे बंद है. देयर इज नॉट अ सिंगल नोटिफिकेशन दैट कम्स फ्रॉम द टॉप. सो देयर इज नो डिस्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ नोटिफिकेशन एट ऑल. इफ समथिंग इज अर्जेंट, समवन विल कॉल मी डायरेक्टली. आई डोंट हैव अ सिंगल नोटिफिकेशन. मतलब कोई न्यूज चैनल हो गया, व्हाट्सएप मैसेज हो गया, इंस्टाग्राम पे किसी ने स्टोरी पे रिएक्ट किया, किसी ने मैसेज किया, नॉट अ सिंगल नोटिफिकेशन इज टर्न ऑन. सो इट जस्ट हेल्प्स मी टू स्टे फोकस्ड ऑन व्हाट वर्क आई एम डूइंग. किसी को अर्जेंटली कॉल करना है तो कोई अर्जेंटली कॉल कर देगा. टीम में सबको वो तो एक्सेस है ही. एंड आई ऑल्सो नोट डाउन कि जिसको कॉल करना है, जैसे लॉट ऑफ पीपल कॉल एंड आई एम नॉट एबल टू आंसर देम बिकॉज ऑफ समथिंग. सो आई हैव नोट्स का सेक्शन, पीपल टू कॉल, एंड 5-6 नाम होते हैं उसमें हमेशा. when I'm traveling in a cab, when I'm going somewhere, तो मैं तभी उनको call back कर लेता हूँ. So it also helps me save that time as well. I think these are some productivity hacks which helps me to manage my time.
So when we talk about work-life balance, I think everything is scheduled, even talking to your parents or going out. All these things are well planned.
Yeah, everything is scheduled. Some people will say ये तो कुछ ज़्यादा ही बोल रहा है. But I think this habit has come from a fact कि मेरा एक बार क्या हुआ था, ACCA का एग्जाम था. वो एग्जाम का टाइम था 2 to 5 p.m. मैंने पेपर चालू किया 3 PM, मेरे को लगा 3 to 6 PM इज द एग्जाम टाइम। ये ACCA का एग्जाम था जो घर पे बैठ के दे सकते थे ड्यूरिंग कोविड। तो 3 बजे मैंने वो पेपर चालू किया एंड 5 बजे मेरा लैपटॉप स्क्रीन बंद हो गया बिकॉज द एग्जाम वॉज 2 to 5 PM एंड आई फेल्ड इन दैट पेपर बिकॉज मैंने कंप्लीट ही नहीं किया वो पेपर। So basically what happened was that I did not put it on my calendar and तभी मैंने realize किया अभी से मेरे को सब चीज कैलेंडर में डालनी है। From that day I've decided everything is going to be calendarized, be it like lunch, dinner, talking to anyone, सब कैलेंडर पे होगा।
And what do you do for your mental peace? Because you're managing so many things, how do you relax your mind? What do you do for that?
I play table tennis regularly, so half an hour table tennis में चला जाता है।
Nice.
Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I go to the gym for 1 hour. That helps me to stay a little relaxed. Today I might not go. I'm feeling a bit unwell because of some fever. So आज मैंने थोड़ा skip कर लिया. But every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, go to the gym. Then every Tuesday there is one yoga class that I've joined. So वहाँ पे it's a good 1.5 hour yoga class once in a week that I do. Apart from that, I also spend a lot of time with two of my friends. So we are 3 people in the building. So every night, रात को 9 या 9:30 बजे, we'll do a walk for half an hour or 1 hour, and we'll spend some time discussing about what's happening and discuss about stock markets and all of that. So I mean, I don't know if it's work or not, but it's just general catch up and conversations only. Apart from that, I play cricket every week, so I'm a big cricket fan. So every Tuesday I try to play cricket, Monday or Tuesday depending on the turf availability. And हाँ बस I think इतना ही होता है, इसके अलावा तो ऐसे कुछ है नहीं।
इतना बहुत कुछ है with all the things you do.
So I have a guitar class also. I forgot to mention that. So twice a week I play guitar also. So I have a guitar class. The sir comes to my house to teach. He stays in the same building only. So he comes to my house and every week हम decide करते हैं 2 दिन कोई भी 1 hour के guitar classes होते हैं।
That's what we say is work-life balance.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got some questions from our audience, so we'll just go to that. How to improve voice quality in digital discussion and digital recordings, tools and techniques. Mr. Rupesh Mishra wants to know.
So I think इसमें आप क्या कर सकते हो? Tools you can use Audacity, that is good. You can use I think Audacity is like the best tool which I use for my voice. Mics की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो अभी you don't need this professional mic, but I have a Shure MV7 mic which is one of the best in podcasting. But you can start off with a Boya mic which is of 800-1000 rupees. Amazon से मिल जाएगा Boya या तो Lavalier. And वो भी मतलब it's a good mic to start off with. The audio quality will be good. मैंने जब शुरू किया था तब मैं वही mic use करता था. Apart from that, जो बैकग्राउंड नॉइज होती है उसके लिए तो अभी आई थिंक एडिटिंग टूल्स है, नॉइज करेक्शन वगैरह हो जाता है Adobe Premiere Pro में, सो यू कैन यूज दैट एंड आई थिंक इससे ऑडियो क्वालिटी शुड बी इंटैक्ट. यू कैन ऑल्सो यूज रोड वायरलेस गो टू माइक. इट इज बिट एक्सपेंसिव, 32,000 का है वो, बट अगर आपको सही में इसको अच्छे से करना है एंड यू थिंक यू आर गोइंग टू डू दिस फॉर 2 years 3 years, इट्स अ गुड इन्वेस्टमेंट. आई हैड बॉट रोड माइक्स in 2023, but abhi I bought the Shure mics because those are the best.
Okay, and Girish is asking whether this session is recorded. Yes, and you'll be able to see the recording on ICI TV in few days. I think maybe in the next 2 days or so. And we are open to questions now. I'm just coming to the last question, Kushal. So, one key takeaway which the audience should take in today's session, if one thing you would like, the most important thing, the most important key takeaway.
I'm so sorry, I lost your voice. Can you repeat the question?
Okay.
No.
Sorry. So, audience to remember, like, can you hear me now?
There's some audio video lag.
Kushal, can you hear me?
Is it from my side or I'm not able to figure out? So I'm not able to hear your voice clearly. There's some lag.
I Okay, now is it better?
Yeah, yeah.
Kushal, the key takeaway for today's session.
Yeah, got it. So key takeaway, I think if you're asking the key takeaway, then one or two key takeaways would be that just start your content journey. Don't wait for anything. Just start. That's it. It's more than enough motivation for you to go ahead. The second key takeaway would be that start with LinkedIn, then go to Twitter, then go to Instagram, then go to YouTube if in case you want to go there. I would not recommend Instagram and YouTube at the start unless you want to become a full-time creator. The third key takeaway would be that make sure you're a very good storyteller and make sure that you're able to engage your audience. Always have a very strong, engaging content that will not burn a lot of calories of people, but that will be very light-hearted. People don't like very technical concept. They like easy stuff to read on social media. And the last key takeaway, if you ask me, is that you just need to be consistent and persistent. The reason I'm using both these words, which are different in meaning, is that you need to be persistent when it comes to uploading content, and consistently you need to do that for the next 6 months, 1 year. And don't just chase views or traction, chase adding value. Automatically views and traction will come.
Thank you, Kushal. We are open to audience questions. So anybody wants to ask, you can let me know. Okay, Nidhi Srivastav is asking, please suggest tool for to-do list.
There are a lot of tools actually. I don't use any one of them. You can use Notion. It is again a good tool to maintain the to-do list. You can use that Microsoft. If you have a Microsoft laptop, then there is a Microsoft to-do list app which you can use to keep a track of that on a day-to-day basis. You can use the notes section if you have an iPhone. A lot of people write their to-do list in the notes section. But honestly, if you ask me, I create my to-do list in a Word document. So एक Word document होता है, उसमें date लिखता हूँ मैं, and then आज क्या क्या करना है, 5-6 चीजें. And you know, like I mean, you'd be surprised that I write as small tasks as possible also. For example, I have to reply to this email by end of the day. So I'll write that because मैं miss ना कर जाऊँ. Or let's say I have to call back a particular friend, मैं वो भी डाल दूंगा so that I don't miss it out. तो जितने भी छोटे छोटे टास्क है मैं वो भी डाल देता हूँ ताकि I should not miss out on anything. And जैसे जैसे वो टास्क हो जाते हैं मैं उसको wipe out कर देता हूँ. So I use Word document. That is my tool. I don't think you need a fancy tool for to-do list as such. It's just that you need the discipline and motivation to type the to-do list every single day. That's it.
Thank you, Kushal. I think today's session, you really gave us so much in-depth knowledge and information. So anybody who is actually listening to it should make notes or can listen to the recorded version. And it's really going to help them out. It's helped me also. And I'm actually going to come back to this and follow most of it. Thank you so much for your time. And any concluding remark that you would like to make?
So thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to all the CAs and our fraternity. I think only concluding remark is that you just need to ensure that you are being like adding a lot of value and you are just starting this content journey or building the digital brand. Just that I would request that whenever you start out your journey, you just need to ensure that there is someone who's pushing you every single day or every single week to do this. This is not the top priority for all of you, I feel, but it should become like the top priority ultimately because consider this as a part of your work and don't consider it as like a side thing. A lot of people, what they do is ki they consider it as a part of side gig and वो सोचते कि इसका कुछ impact नहीं मतलब I don't have the time to do this and all. But trust me, if you consider this as a part of your work, it will definitely help you in some or the other manner. And you will definitely remember my words that content is something which is going to be the future. And social media, where youth of India is spending a lot of their time, that is something which we should definitely capitalize on. And we should try to add value on these social media platforms.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the Work-Life Balance Committee. And all the lovely audience, please do share your feedback after the session and do attend the Fit CA sessions, which are specially designed for CAs, which has yoga and Zumba. So do attend. And thank you again, Kushal. It was a very, insightful and enriching session for me, and I'm sure for all the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again. And I hope I could give some sort of value to the audience. And thank you so much for inviting me once again. It was a pleasure interacting with you.
Thank you. Thank you.